With wedges and HEMIs under the hoods, Mopar ran wild on the competition. Here are the 10 greatest cars it unleashed. A12 Roadrunner and Super B. The muscle car explosion of the 1960s gave us some of the most legendary machines in American automotive history. Every major brand wanted to claim bragging rights as the king of the quarter mile. Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge were all in the fight, pushing out wild, high-horsepower beasts built for one thing: speed. But when the smoke cleared, the crown went to an unlikely contender, the 1969.5 Plymouth Roadrunner. The Roadrunner started life as Plymouth's no-frills muscle car, a stripped-down, budget-friendly option that young gearheads could actually afford. Its name, of course, came straight from the famous cartoon character that was all about speed. But midway through the '69 model year, Plymouth turned things up a notch with the release of the A12 six-barrel version. Under the hood sat a 440 cubic inch V8, cranking out 390 horsepower, topped with a trio of Holley two-barrel carburetors. The result? Pure, unfiltered muscle. When drag racing legend Ronnie Sox laid down a blistering 12.9 second quarter mile in one of these cars, it cemented the Roadrunner's place in history as the fastest factory-built muscle car of its era. A990 Dodge and Plymouths. By the mid-'60s, the muscle car wars had gotten so intense that the manufacturers weren't just building street machines anymore. They were cranking out full-blown race cars straight from the factory. Now, technically speaking, these weren't traditional muscle cars, since they were never meant for daily driving. But they had all the right ingredients: massive engines, lightweight bodies, and purpose-built hardware. In fact, many of them still used tuned-up versions of engines that were available in regular production cars. Among the wildest creations of this era were the Dodge and Plymouth A990 cars of 1965. These factory-built drag machines were as raw and stripped down as it gets. Interiors were gutted, hardware was lightened, and anything that wasn't absolutely essential for blasting down the strip was tossed out. They even removed the park function from automatic transmissions to shave off weight and complexity. Powering these beasts was the legendary 426 HEMI, an engine that was officially underrated but widely believed to be putting out around 550 horsepower. With that kind of firepower under the hood, these cars were capable of storming through the quarter mile in the 10-second range, an absolutely mind-blowing number for a factory-prepped car in 1965. L023 HEMI Dart. The A990 cars of 1965 were already outrageous for their time, but things only escalated as the decade went on. By 1968, Dodge decided to take that same race-proven formula and push it even further. This time, the platform of choice wasn't a big B-body. It was the compact Dodge Dart. And yes, believe it or not, these cars rolled right out of the showroom that way. The L023 HEMI Dart was a purpose-built factory drag car, engineered with just one mission in mind: winning races. Everything about it was stripped down and optimized for speed. The body panels were lightweight, the interiors were gutted, and the rear tires were oversized to handle the massive torque. Sitting under the hood was none other than the legendary 426 HEMI, an absolute powerhouse. With a curb weight of just 3,000 pounds, these darts were capable of tearing through the quarter mile in an astonishing 9 seconds flat. For the late 1960s, that was nothing short of jaw-dropping. If there was ever a car that deserved to be called the true demon of the 60s, it was the HEMI Dart. Dodge Charger, Daytona, and Plymouth Superbird. Some of the fastest muscle cars ever created weren't built with the drag strip in mind at all. Instead, these machines were engineered to dominate the superspeedways, where raw speed and aerodynamics ruled. And of course, we're talking about two of the most outrageous cars of the era, the Dodge Charger Daytona and the Plymouth Superbird. The story begins with Dodge's struggle in NASCAR. The standard Charger just couldn't keep up on the high banks. So engineers took a radical approach. They headed into the wind tunnel and reshaped the car with the precision of a missile project. The result was the Charger Daytona, a car with a sharp aerodynamic nose cone, a redesigned rear window that sat flush with the body, and a towering rear wing that looked unlike anything else on the road. The Daytona wasn't just fast. It made history as the very first car to break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier on a closed-course track. Not to be outdone, Plymouth rolled out their own version the following year, the Superbird. Armed with the same outrageous aero treatment and, in many cases, a fire-breathing 426 HEMI under the hood, the Superbird became a nightmare for the competition. Together, the Daytona and Superbird didn't just win races. They dominated the field so thoroughly that NASCAR had no choice but to change the rulebook, effectively banning these aero warriors after only a single season. Arcuda and TA Challenger. The Superbird and Daytona may have been the most famous of Plymouth and Dodge's homologation specials, but they weren't the only ones. Another pair that deserves just as much recognition are the TA Challengers and the Arcudas, two cars built with a very specific purpose: to meet SCCA requirements so Mopar could go head-to-head in Trans Am racing. These cars weren't just competitive, they became instant legends. Right out of the factory, they looked and sounded like nothing else on the street. Both the Challenger TA and the Arcuda came equipped with lightweight fiberglass hoods, aggressive side-exit exhaust pipes, bold racing stripes and graphics, and underneath it all, the heart of the beast, Chrysler's 346-pack V8. Now, on paper, the engine was officially rated at 295 horsepower. But anyone who knew these cars understood the numbers were sandbagged. In reality, thanks to special block and head castings that made them more durable and more willing to rev, these engines were putting down closer to 330 horsepower, straight from the showroom floor. And with just a little tuning and wrench work, these E-body Mopars could be turned into seriously fierce performers both on the track and on the street. Dodge Challenger Demon 170. Modern Dodge muscle cars are about as far from obscure as it gets. Thanks to bold, in-your-face marketing and record-shattering performance numbers, they've been impossible to ignore. And no list of great muscle machines would be complete without mentioning the wildest of them all, the Dodge Demon 170. Back in 2015, the arrival of the Hellcat lineup completely rocked the performance car world. With outrageous horsepower figures and that unmistakable supercharged whine, the Hellcats proved Dodge was willing to go further than anyone else in the muscle car game. Fast forward to 2023, and Dodge decided to close out the Challenger's run with one final act during their Last Call campaign. The crown jewel of that send-off was the Demon 170, a car that pushed the boundaries of what a factory-built muscle car could be. Under the hood sat a 6.2-liter supercharged HEMI tuned to a jaw-dropping 1,025 horsepower. That's not just impressive, that's historic. On the drag strip, the Demon 170 laid down an official quarter-mile time of 8.9 seconds, a number that firmly placed it in the realm of purpose-built race cars, all while being something you could technically drive off a dealer lot. This wasn't just a last hurrah for the Challenger. It was Dodge's way of reminding the entire automotive world of why the HEMI name carries so much weight, and why American muscle remains a force to be reckoned with. (1968 till 1970 Dodge Charger). The 1968 Dodge Charger doesn't make this list because of some record-breaking horsepower figure or a one-off factory performance package. It's here for a very different reason. This was the very first year of the second-generation Charger, and its design was so striking that it went far beyond being just another muscle car. It became a cultural icon, a shape and a presence that enthusiasts still celebrate to this day. From 1968 through 1970, the Dodge Charger defined cool. Its Coke bottle body lines, wide and menacing grille, and that perfect mix of elegance and raw aggression gave it a presence like no other. Hollywood took notice too. These Chargers became the go-to car for rebels, outlaws, and anti-heroes on both television and the big screen. Few cars have ever captured that kind of mystique. Of course, it wasn't all looks. Being a Mopar performance machine, the Charger came with an impressive lineup of V8 engines, including the legendary 426 HEMI. That meant it had the bite to back up its bark. And for many enthusiasts, this car is more than a dream machine. It's the ultimate expression of late 60s American muscle. (1968 Plymouth Roadrunner). The Plymouth Roadrunner has long been a fan favorite in the muscle car world, and for good reason. It was affordable, it was fast, and it had the kind of simple, no-nonsense styling that just worked. And if you had to pick one model year that captured the very essence of what a muscle car was supposed to be, 1968 might just be it. That year, Plymouth introduced the Roadrunner as a performance-first machine that even a high school senior could dream of owning. Standard power came from a 383 Magnum V8, good for 335 horsepower. For those who wanted more, the legendary 426 HEMI was sitting on the options list, officially rated at 425 horsepower. The Roadrunner wasn't a luxury car, and that was the whole point. Plymouth stripped away the unnecessary extras. No fancy trim, no gimmicky features, just the bare essentials you needed to go fast. And that right there is the core philosophy of the muscle car movement. Keep it simple, keep it affordable, and keep it fast. With a starting price of just $2,870, around 28 grand in today's money, the 1968 Roadrunner hit the sweet spot perfectly. It proved that you didn't need deep pockets to own a car that could run with the best of them, and in doing so, it became one of the most iconic and beloved muscle cars of all time. Silver Bullet GTX. When it comes to muscle cars, sanctioned drag racing has always been the proper arena. Street racing, on the other hand, has never been legal, and it's always been dangerous. But that never stopped people from doing it. In fact, street racing became such a major part of muscle car culture that it's woven into the history of the era. And one of the wildest stories to come out of that scene is the legend of the Silver Bullet GTX. The Silver Bullet started life as an experimental factory lightweight, fitted with a 426 HEMI under the hood. Unlike the flashy cars you'd expect to see prowling for races, this one was built as a sleeper. It carried a plain, understated paint job and even used a unique four-muffler exhaust system to keep things quiet, blending into traffic like just another big Plymouth. But underneath, it was an absolute monster. While it may not have been part of any official factory plan, the car ended up finding its way onto Detroit's legendary Woodward Avenue street racing scene. And once it hit the pavement, it became a nightmare for anyone brave enough to line up next to it. The Silver Bullet tore through challengers, cementing its reputation as one of the ultimate street racing legends of the muscle car era. What's even more incredible is that this car is still alive today. More than half a century later, the Silver Bullet GTX still makes appearances on Woodward, a living piece of Detroit's muscle car history that refuses to fade away.